It's a couple weeks late, but it's finally time for me to talk about the Phillies. There's two things mixed into why this is such a late upload. One, I needed time to really kind of think about what I thought of this team. Um, Two, I've also been really busy. So, listen, two things. Um, yeah, Phillies losing four to the Dodgers on the worst way imaginable. Orion Kirkgrave with the error. We all witnessed it. I'm not going to talk about that, maybe a little bit until the end. So I'm just going to talk about my thoughts on the team, what I thought of this season, and how I think of this team going into next year. So this was a really, really bad series of baseball for the Phillies, which is kind of crazy to think about because all these games, except for game three, were close when the Phillies blew out the Dodgers. Um, and the Dodgers practically walked their way to the World Series, not including the Phillies. You know, they sweat the Brewers, they sweat the Reds in the wild card round. But regardless, let's talk about the Phillies. I think there are a lot of problems going on right now, and it stems a lot from internally. Dave Dombrowski coming out saying Bryce Harper probably won't be that guy anymore, probably won't be that star. That's just ridiculous. I mean, what the hell are you doing? Um, as the president of operations or whatever, I just don't understand you calling your star player that you paid $300+ million for probably not going to get to that star tier again. You probably shouldn't say that. You absolutely shouldn't say that. Is the dumbest thing you could do because you probably just pissed him off. Now I know you can look at it from the point of view of, oh, he's pissed now. You lit a fire on. No, that's just stupid. You absolutely should not do that. And if you didn't watch that, you got to go watch that because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. You know, you got to have full confidence in your guys. Um, I don't know. Some people may say they want him to keep it real. In this case, I think he made a mistake. I'm willing to listen on another point of view, but we'll get off that. I just think this team is so used to folding in the playoffs that has just absolutely killed them the last couple of years. The bye week or the bye first round bye hasn't been an issue for any other team except for the Phillies, and this seems like one of those teams in the Phillies that could probably benefit from playing a crappy team in the wild card round. Well, not crappy team, but like obviously a team like the Reds who are just over 80 games and sneak in. You know, maybe you get a couple good moments out of your guys in that wild card round. You get the sweep. Maybe you get a big time home run in the seventh inning in game one or whatever. Everything's kind of going right. You get the momentum to the divisional series. You know, at least a couple years ago, we saw when they beat the Marlins in the wild card round, Bryson started the grand slam. At least they made the NLCS that year and went to 7 games. They eventually died out, but you kind of saw it the year they went to the World Series before that against the Cardinals. Some big time moments with Gene Segura against the Cardinals, and some late rallies, some good pitching, and you could just feel the momentum with the Phillies after those two series or after those wild card series. These past couple of years, you know, they lose in the NLDS to the Mets. They get pretty much dog walked. And in the Dodgers, you know, you play in 3 really close games because you won one game pretty substantially, and you just cannot play in a close game because your lineup sucks and your bullpen just blows it. So, I mean, those are two pretty good reasons why you're going to lose a playoff series. Um, the one that I did not mention, the starting pitching, because it was unbelievable. Christopher Sanchez, Jesus Luzardo, even Aaron Nola for a couple of innings. They did their jobs. They were great. Obviously, no Zach Wheeler for the Phillies. They will get him back next year. Hopefully, this injury does not make him regress a little bit. It does not hold him back. Very weird injury. I don't know the history really on this injury at all. I don't think there's a lot of pitchers out there that could be the sample size for it. We'll have to see. But the bullpen has proven to be just a consistent problem for the Phillies for years. And there's just never, you know, Yohan Duran, the acquisition to get him, that was really good. That was really great. But when you're not leading any of these games late down the stretch, he's just not going to get into the game. And that also comes back to the lineup. And the lineup sucks. It flat out sucks. You have your so-called stars at the beginning of the order. I'll get to them in a second. We're talking about the back half, middle to back half part of the lineup right now. It's putrid. It's absolutely putrid. And Dave Dombrowski said the payroll is probably going to be around the same this upcoming season. And I just don't know how this team will go anywhere with this core of guys unless these prospects coming up are studs. And, Aiden Miller, Justin Crawford, Andrew Painter, these guys better be studs because if not, there will be some serious, serious backlash on the Phillies front office. And there already is for them holding on to these three guys, as is right now. If these guys suck when they come up to the big leagues, jobs will be being taken in the Phillies front office because, I mean, there's still a chance for them to redeem themselves because these guys could pan out. They have a couple of big moments, get the Phillies somewhere, but it's not pointing to what that's going to be the case, honestly. And they're already getting enough backlash as it is for it. These guys really just haven't performed insanely well in the minors, honestly. So back to the middle part, to the back end of the lineup, all the crap in there. Alec Bohm, Bryson Stott, Nick Castellanos, even Brandon Marsh. I think I'm being a little harsh on Marsh right now. I can't say I just run that, whatever. Because he did have a good second half of the season, but those four players, it just feels like fluff. Like they're just thrown into the lineup and they just suck because they're all bad in the postseason, and they have been the last couple of years. You can't, but here's the thing, you can't necessarily blame the full back end of the lineup when your top three guys aren't performing either. Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber have been ghosts the last couple of years. Not even the last couple of years, dating back to late NLCS against the Diamondbacks. They just completely disappeared. And, you want to get on the guys that aren't the stars in the back end, the middle half of the lineup, because it's just automatic outs every time it comes around through. But you can't when those top three guys also suck. They didn't. Schwarber hit that one nuke. Other than that, there was just really no moments from these players. Trey Turner, he had a bad throw home, led the catcher to the right side when a runner was coming on home. I believe it was a tying run in one of those games, maybe the leading run. I forget. It led to a big inning. I know that. Bryce Harper got out in a lot of big situations. So did Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner as well. These three guys just sucked. They just completely disappeared when the city needed them most. There's no other way to put it. So I do think there is an internal problem with the Phillies right now. It seems like not much is going to change due to the payroll the Phillies will have and just the way Dave Dombrowski has spoken on the situation. And this team, they're truly entering Sixers territory level of purgatory. And that is the last spot you want to be. Seriously. Also, last note, fundamentally, the team is just bad. It's just really bad baseball. And again, because it's kind of crazy that this team went or was playing in close games with the Dodgers for 3 games, and one of the games they doored them because this team is just fundamentally bad. Base running is really bad. We could talk about the situation first and second in the 9th inning, trying to get the time run over in the leading run off that bunt play with Castellanos not pinch running him. Regardless, even if you do whatever, just a really bad baseball play by Nick Castellanos. The Dodgers ran the wheel play, and Mookie Betts got to third base 10 steps ahead of Castellanos. And if you're Cassie, it doesn't even take a fast runner. You should just be, as soon as Mookie Betts is that far out the bag, you should be right there with him because the wheel play hasn't even gone in full effect yet. I don't understand it. And I don't understand not pinch running him in the first place. It's just really, really bad. No, they're thin on outfielders, but they needed to win that baseball game. Because here we are, we're talking about the season. So that's bad. The outfield is bad. The outfield has a couple plays here and there where the ball just kind of is rolling around, dropping in somewhere. And I saw it twice this series where the Dodgers took an extra base on a play that I feel like that I could have got it in faster and would have held them to one base. Completely inexcusable. Completely inexcusable. And it's only fitting for the season to end on a PFP. Absolutely only fitting because this team fundamentally is terrible. So that's all I have baseball-wise for the Phillies. Those are all my notes on that. We have Alex Bregman and Kyle Tucker, the big free agents coming up. We have to see what we're going to do with Kyle Schwarber and JT Realmuto. Decisions will need to be made there. Dave Dombrowski has said that we're not going to be able to bring everyone back due to our payroll. It should be really interesting to see how we play this because obviously Schwarber in the regular season is just a monster, MVP candidate, and he just didn't do it in the postseason. And Realmuto probably was the Phillies' best player. So we'll have to see what they decide to do with those couple guys. when news comes out, I will be back. But for now, it's Eagles and Sixers time. So, yeah, guys, take care.